What surprised no one when it failed? The guy who built a homemade rocket in order to go to space and prove the Earth was flat. Exactly what everyone assumed would happen, happened. R.I.P. Crazy Man. The movie Cats. With every trailer, everyone commented how much of a train wreck it looked like it was going to be. Sure, some people thought it was going to be in the so bad it's good fun stage, but nope, it's just bad. When it failed at the box office, no one was survived. They even CGI'd out the buttholes, so even the furries were turned off. It's like they wanted to fail. My brother-in-law's 5th marriage. Oh my god. When the guy in Florida, I think that's where it was, tried to walk across the ocean in his home, made floating hamster ball, and was marooned at sea. That's terrifying. Oh my god. Didn't Soulja Boy try to create his own video game system? One that ran pirated Nintendo games. Yes. Then he dared challenge Nintendo, of all companies, to come at him. And Nintendo obliged, and he folded. Taco Bell in Mexico. That is a terrible idea. Oh my god. Anyone remember Amazon's Fire Phone? Got one for free when Amazon gave one to everyone that showed up to the phone dev session at their reInvent conference. Sold it on eBay as soon as I got home. Made like $200, so I loved it. Having a kid to save the relationship. Me and my ex-wife got married to save the relationship. I bet you can guess how well that worked. Quibi. And before anyone tries to offer the excuse of, oh, they launched at the start of the pandemic and their business model was based on people using Quibi during their commute, that's why it failed. That's mostly untrue. It certainly didn't help, but Quibi was nothing more than a lesson in hubris and disconnect between billionaire moguls and regular human beings. The Vulture article is a bit long, but really worth the read to understand how utterly unaware of consumer trends Katzenberg and Whitman were. Spoiler alert, Whitman straight up doesn't watch shows, and Katzenberg still gets his emails printed out for him. Oh my god. Seemingly because he doesn't believe in this fancy schmancy tech gizmo known as a computer. They're essentially two Mr. Burns trying to reinvent the YouTube 15 years too late. Don't forget the best bit of Katzenberg's complete lack of understanding of modern technology. Katzenberg searched the internet by having his staff record web pages into a videotape, which he then popped into a VCR. Anytime a friend, coworker, or family member invites you to their MLM party. Yes, Molly, I'm sure this will be like a full-time income where you set your own hours. People will be clamoring to buy overpriced kitchen gadgets from you that they can get on Amazon. When a friend you haven't seen in 6 months asks to come over and hang out randomly, you see it coming. Every time. It happened to me. Dude had a baby boy. They called us over with my wife. I thought to celebrate the baby and have a good dinner with them. We brought presents and wine, and they played the MLM card and started to talk about some nonsense healing blanket. It was a train wreck. I told him how embarrassing it is and that he should be ashamed of himself. We went there to celebrate his kid and reconnect. Instead, he wanted us to sell some shit to us. We finished the drink in a very uncomfortable few minutes and left. Never spoke to him since then. That time, the state of Oregon tried to blow up a beached whale with dynamite. Happened back in 1970. Unfortunately, we had video cameras back then. Don't try this at home, kids. The end of this video sums it up best. They'll certainly remember what not to do. Movie Pass. Came here to say Movie Pass. $9 a month to see one movie in a theater every day. After using the card to see 80 movies for $60, we wondered how they are making money. They must have a plan, we thought. They didn't. They really thought people would treat it the same as a gym membership, where you're gung-ho initially, then it just comes to something you keep paying for but forgetting to cancel. Of course, they forgot that people actually enjoyed going to the movies, so it would never be a chore the way going to the gym becomes for so many folk. The war on drugs. Spoiler alert, drugs won. I fought the drugs and the drugs won. I had some money, now I have none. I fought the drugs and the drugs won. Prohibition. Kind of incredible that this was something that happened in the last 100 years. Hooters Airlines. Just imagine if that was launched today. Oh my god, is that real? Target Canada. This will be a business case study for centuries. It was the Titanic of new ventures. Pretty much everything that could go wrong did. much of it out of misplaced hubris. I remember reading an interview with the head of Target Canada in Report on Business magazine, published by our national newspaper of record, the Globe and Mail. He was enthusing about how Canadian stores were going to get brand new shelving. As someone who had been in grocery nearly 20 years at this point, I knew instantly the company was doomed. Shoppers doesn't care about shelving, they care about what's on the shelves, and there wasn't much. One of the biggest reasons is that rather than go down with established inventory control system such as SAP, Target decided to import its own. Except they forgot to metricate it, leading to shelf capacities being dramatically wrong for every SKU. It all just compounded from there. To save money, Target outsourced warehouse to store delivery. In practice, that meant trucks arriving with skids of missing product and more skids of broken product, and no ownership of the issues. Rather than recruit people with big box experience, they relied heavily on MBAs, meaning management was even further out of touch with the events on the ground than they could have been. It was just a horror show all around, and a mercy when it finally died. Years ago, when I was a white belt sparring a black belt and getting cocky. I was a yellow belt when I did this, ended with 3 broken ribs because I took a spinning back kick hard. Sounds like the black belt you were sparring was either a not nice person or should not have had a black belt. No excuse to injure a new student like that. TanaCon. Was anyone really surprised? I mean, the title of the event was The Ultimate Truth in Advertising. TanaCon. I had to Google to see if it was what I remembered, but I was thinking of DashCon, a Tumblr con organized by a teenager. What could go wrong? The only problem was O'Neill had never really attended a real convention before, so instead, she said she modeled DashCon off rabbit breeding fairs she had attended. Oh my god. The ball pit. Building the wall and making Mexico pay for it. I'm still not sure what he meant to accomplish it by that. I will commit racism against you and you will be the ones to pay for it. Anyone with a functioning brain can see where this goes wrong, right? The condom I kept in my wallet for 2 years. An obedience school for cats. The Segway. It was supposed to revolutionize the way we travel, according to its investors. Then for like a year, every kid had a hoverboard. They disappeared like fidget spinners. Maybe because they kept exploding? I don't know. Also, most people can just walk. That guy who tried to travel to North Sentinel Islands in the hopes of converting its inhabitants to Christianity. For context, the inhabitants of North Sentinel Islands kill anyone who tries to approach with bows and arrows, and nothing is off limits, even aircraft. A former coworker was telling me this story, which of course I already knew because it was national news, and I said offhand that the guy was a not smart person, and that him being killed was the most predictable outcome. I then found out they were college roommates and friends, and I've never put my foot in my mouth so hard by what I still stand by what I said. Oh my god. And they were roommates. Juicero. I'm still convinced the entire pitch to get investors for that thing was just them saying, what if we made a Keurig but for Jews? To uproarious applause! And then them realizing that they actually had to figure out how to do that afterwards. It's technically thriving for the wrong reasons, but NFTs. Fun fact, even the guy who created them thinks it's a scam. I have a strong suspicion that the entire hype for it is astroturfed in order for some rich people to make money. I can't prove it, but anytime I try to find out anything related to NFTs, all I get are articles and videos written by people that already support the concept, or articles that turn out to be written on behalf of some undisclosed benefactor on major websites. All the buzz around it just feels so artificial, in a way that something like Bitcoin didn't. Also, it seems to me that if some government or whatever started using NFTs on a larger scale, they just start over with their own blockchain. They wouldn't use any of the existing ones. Me, when I was rejected from university, my dad literally told me, anyways, get up tomorrow, you gotta go work. On that very depressing note, we're going to end the video. If you made it all the way through to the end, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel. Goodbye.